Hello, my Chunsters. My name is the Chun, and it's time to have some fun with Host Pro 2.0 episode 18. I almost completely lost that sentence midway through that time, but it's a one-man show tonight. But I have got some great topics. I've actually, for once, been able to prepare a show, which is just that just never seems to happen these days. But I have actually been able to do that. And so I've actually got topics. I've got WWE Elimination Chamber. I've got Lionel Messi being just the best footballer in the world. I've also got some gaming controversies. I've got the Lamborghini Aventador SV to talk about. And on top of all this, we have some Would You Rathers and a brief talk about Kingdom Hearts 3. Because Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be amazing. Well, I say it's going to be amazing. I haven't got a clue if it's going to be amazing or not. It's probably going to be amazing, and I'm basing that on past Kingdom Hearts games. But I want to try and talk about that game because I like Kingdom Hearts a lot, and I'm going to try and talk about that game because it doesn't seem to get much press. Apparently, it was announced ages ago, and I haven't really heard that much about it. I was like, why? Why have I not heard much about this? So I'm going to further the hype machine tonight on this show. I say tonight, it's still daylight out there, but you get my drift. So first things first, let's just find the stream. So we'll just take a step back, find the stream. I want to check it's working. I want to see everything's fine. Peace of mind thing. It's a tradition. I always find my stream is working nicely. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. I also want to get up some pictures of the Lamborghini so that hopefully when it comes to talking about the Lamborghini, I can screen share and I can show you what it looks like as well as describe what it goes like, if you catch my drift. So yes, I also want. I should have got this up before, but no mind. There you go. Easily done. We're all ready to rock and ready to rumble. Good. I've also got the comment tracker open, so if anyone wants to drop comments, we can do that. We can address all that type of thing. So first things first. Normally I start with like a wrestling topic, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to change the flow of the show. That rhymes. But I'm going to change the flow of the show. Because doing wrestling topics every time, the first time, is predictable. Maybe some people tune in hoping to see the wrestling topic, but because we've done it first, it's all gone, and it was like, ah. So I'm going to talk about Lionel Messi first, because the thing with Lionel Messi is, throughout his entire career, he has been stunning. Just a top-class, world, top-flight footballer, obviously. Plays for Barcelona, has done for years now. And the thing with Lionel Messi is he's just not showing any signs of slowing down anymore yet. Even I don't even know what age he is, but he's just absolutely hitting his form. Scored 2 goals in Barcelona's recent. I'm gonna have to look at what the cup's called. Copa del Rey Cup win. 2. And it's a final. I think it was a final of the competition. It's like. And he's just incredible. I recently saw a Champions League match, and they're playing Bayern Munich, and he just scores a goal, which the goalie would have had to have dislocated and broken his foot to have saved. He just went for it. He just went right in, chipped it straight over, and the goalie's just like, "Well, what am I supposed to do about that?" So I can't do anything about that. It's just in. It's just done. Done. Dusted. Goal scored. Another one for Lionel Messi. And that's the thing with Lionel Messi. He's been like that his entire career. He just never seems to... He's just incredible. I mean, I'm surprised, actually, that he didn't score more goals in the World Cup. I think the reason for that would be, if I had to say or pinpoint anything, and I'm not a football professional. I know virtually piss all about football, if I'm honest. But I think the reason why he didn't score that many goals in the World Cup is because they brought him back into midfield so that he could get the ball more often and try and get the ball forward for his team more often. I think that's what they were intending to happen. Unfortunately, it meant that it was too easy to mark him because he was in the midfield. So it's worth just having defenders to mark him. He had a lot of midfielders as well. I mean, Hell, I'm not even Lionel Messi can dribble 8 people away. Although he did on a couple of occasions now I think about it. But that's why I don't think he made that much of an impression on the latest World Cup. However, he did absolutely in crushing form again this year. It's absolutely just wreaking havoc for Barcelona. And that's because Barcelona have a pretty good midfield anyway, so they don't need him in the midfield. They can have him up striking, and when he gets the ball, has 3 or 4 players to deal with. He can do that and score, and he does. He just does it better than anybody else. And I think the reason why I would say that Messi is better than, say, Ronaldo or Falcao or whoever else you want to name. Those are 2 that just coming into my head really quickly. It's probably more his technical prowess on the ball. Once he gets the ball, he can dribble it. He can outmaneuver and outpace. Not outpace as such. That's more a Ronaldo thing. But he doesn't rely on his strength. He doesn't rely on his just sheer athleticism. Because not really, out of all football strikers out there, probably isn't even in the top 5 most athletic strikers in the world. It's his technical prowess and his feel for the ball which does it, because he can just place the ball wherever he wants to. And it doesn't really matter. He can just chip it over. He can go for long shots. He can hit the ball with some actual venom. Doesn't do that very often, but he more just likes to tuck it in at an angle that's just so awkward you just can't defend it. And that's basically Lionel Messi's style. And I think that's what makes Lionel Messi so damn good. Because if you're playing against somebody like Ronaldo, well, you can kind of get used to his power. It's like, well, here he goes. He's about to blast it. He has. But he doesn't, and I mean, this isn't true of all the time of Ronaldo. This isn't true 100% of the time of him at all. A lot of the time, he doesn't find the same angle of attack that Lionel Messi does. And that's why Lionel Messi, I think, is that much more difficult to stop, because I've seen him do it. It's one time, right? He managed to get a goalie to commit to diving on him, and Lionel Messi just dribbled the ball underneath his body whilst he was coming in to try and get the ball, dribbled it underneath his body, and then handed himself an open goal, being tapped straight in the middle. I was just like, I don't think you'd see Ronaldo do that. Ronaldo, if the goalie's coming at him, he'd be more tempted to just belt it and hope it gets past the goalie. And sometimes it probably won't happen because he'll just belt it straight at the goalie's face. But Messi, no, he's like, big bang, and that's Lionel Messi's style. It's how I try and play him as well on FIFA. If I'm ever playing on FIFA, which I don't do that much anymore, but I should do really. But if I'm ever playing FIFA, that's how I tend to try and play it. I tend to try and take the ball in as close as I can, and then try and just do everybody before, and then try and wait for the last moment to shoot. Until I'm playing with guys like Ronaldo with a bit more power and who don't quite have the same dribbling ability, I tend to just shoot the ball as soon as I get near to the edge of the box, and so half the time it will fly in. With Messi, all I have to do is just dribble it into the box, which isn't difficult to do with Lionel Messi at all, and then just bing straight in from the center of the box, and it's nice and easy to do. And that's why I think Lionel Messi is still the best player in the world and still the most dominant striker of them all. And I think you're going to have to get used to that for at least another 3 or 4 years before it starts to, wane off a bit. So, yeah, get used to it. It's going to continue to happen. I don't know much about football, admittedly, so I can't talk to you any more about football than that. I think I've managed to make some sense out of that, though, which is good. Sense is good, because sense is all about fitness. I don't know why I keep saying that all the time now. He says with a chin, which looks, actually, it looks bigger than it is, actually. When I put my finger there, actually slides on in. Doesn't slide down. That's a weird optical illusion created by the camera. It makes it look like I've got a really fat chin that's sort of like, that is angled like that, but it isn't. Is it? Anyway, hang on. I'm looking for the card now. For my next topic. Is it? Oh, I can't see it. It doesn't look like it. Never mind. Whatever. Fitness! That's what the podcast is all about. It's all about fitness, losing weight. Okay, so next topic is WWE Elimination Chamber. I've just brought up the cards, as I just admitted. So tonight we've got the WWE Network exclusive Elimination Chamber. An interesting proposition, so to speak. One, it was announced on really short notice. Two, the reason why it was announced on really short notice is because originally they were going to cancel Elimination Chamber, basically because there aren't that a lot of the arenas in America have been reworked, revamped, particularly in the ceiling. And what happens there is the reworked ceilings make it very difficult to hang the Elimination Chamber structure from the ceiling, so you can't lower it and get it into place and hang it above the ring when you don't need it. So they were going to do away with it, but then they found the Corpus Christi venue hasn't actually been reworked or revamped, so Chamber is back. It's too short notice to really sell on proper pay-per-view. Hell, make it because the schedule's I assume will probably be finalized by that point. Hell, network exclusive. Which, I mean, if you guys haven't got the WWE Network, if you're watching this and you haven't got the WWE Network, why? Is what I have to ask you. Because, right, okay, here's the thing. WWE still sells some DVDs and all that of all their pay-per-views. I was in Asda recently with Mr. Marcus, who's unfortunately absent tonight. But we were in Asda, right, and there's 5 WWE pay-per-views there. As far back as Royal Rumble, Payback, Mania wasn't there actually, but you know, Fastlane. Yeah, I'll just mention those 2, and there are 2 others actually further back than Survivor Series. Sorry, was there, and it was the one after Survivor Series. Can't remember what it was called now. TLC, that was it. And the cheapest of those pay-per-views was £10, right? So I pay $9.99 on the network. I can watch all 5 of those pay-per-views whenever I want for that price. I don't have to pay for the pay-per-views separately, and plus I get tonight's pay-per-view, those pay-per-views whenever I want, and for the rest of the time, all the Raws, network NXT, just shitloads of content. And if you're out there buying wrestling DVDs and you don't have the network, stop what you're doing right now and change your practice. If you're out there buying WWE, it's WCW. If you're looking for WCW videotapes and ECW videotapes, stop. You're wasting your money. Just buy the network. It's so much cheaper. Unless if you're planning to collect and sell it all off when it's in like 50 years' time, when hopefully it's a piece of wrestling history and therefore worth a lot of money. By all means, probably fine. But if you're looking for those rare tapes, you know. But if you're not and you're just sort of buying it so you can watch the show, just network. Just right now, you get everything. Every single WCW pay-per-view that ever happened, and all the ECW ones, and all the WWE ones, and every new WWE pay-per-view, and Raw, and Superstars, and SmackDown, and NXT, and Main Event, and a load of network originals, and documentaries. It's just tons of crap on the network, so you should really buy it. And in case you're still not sold, you get exclusive, a whole pay-per-view exclusive. I've got 2 pay-per-views for $9.99 this month. I've had, what was it, Payback, and Elimination Chamber on the same month, as well as NXT Unstoppable. 3 pay-per-views for $9.99. Are you seriously still not going to buy this thing? I'm not meaning to turn into Michael Cole. Let's do the predictions for Elimination Chamber, because it's actually looking like it's going to be a pretty good show. At least I think it's going to be a good show. I'm looking forward to the action. I think it's going to be pretty good. But so yeah, you should probably buy the network, because you get access to all of this. So, that's their predictions. Let's see if my predictions differ from them. So we have the Tag Team Championship Elimination Chamber match. Thanks a lot, mate. Haven't actually put who's in the fucking match on your card. Brilliant. Right, so this card is basically useless. I need some help remembering who's actually in the matches. I should have checked that. Full card. Here we go. don't really care about his predictions. I just want to see who's in the match. Okay, so here it is, the WWE Tag Team. So, right, yeah. Yeah, I knew there was one I was forgetting. So anyway, we have Los Matadores, the Ascension, the Lucha Dragons, Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, the New Day, all three of them, I think. I think that's how they're playing that. And it could just be Big E and Kofi, but I have a feeling Horseman Rules is going to come into it. Anyway, and the primetime players. I don't know who these guys. So the Mirror predicts the New Day. Okay, whatever. I am tempted to agree. On this front, I'm tempted to agree with them. I do think it will be the New Day. Who do I want to see win? Either the Ascension or the primetime players. But I think it will be New Day. I think the story is the Usos are back in training at the moment. I have a feeling that the New Day is going to hold on to those tag team championships until the Usos get back, and then the John Cena of the tag team division will take the titles back. But actually, looking at these teams, tag team division is looking pretty healthy at the moment, particularly if it brings up Enzo Amore and Big Cass, because if those guys come up, my God, that's one hell of a tag team. Trust me, you can't teach that. They are a really good tag team. I really hope that once Enzo Amore and Big Cass come up, they get the championships quite quickly. So anyway, I'm with the Mirror on this one. I think it will probably be a New Day. Then we have Neville versus Dallas. Where the hell did that come from? But no, Bo Dallas versus Adrian Neville. The obnoxious Bo Leave versus the new sensation, the man who is bringing about the Altitude Era. That's actually WWE merch. Neville versus Bo. Probably going to be Neville. The interesting thing is the Mirror reckons it's going to be Bo Dallas. But I think it's going to be Neville. I think they're pushing Neville forward. I think they see Neville as marketable. And I think they're right. Marketable in the sense that he's got stunning. He's got a very, very impressive physique, actually, even though he's on a diminutive frame. Very impressive physique, very built. He weighs 200 pounds and he's like the heights. Don't even think he's as tall as Rey Mysterio. No, I think he's a bit taller than Rey Mysterio now I think about it, but he's just an incredible physique on the bloke, incredibly athletic, puts on stunning matches. Red Arrow is photogenic. It's just, I think they're going to have to give the win to Neville. I think Neville at this point would be more damaging for Neville to lose to Bo Dallas than it would be for Bo Dallas to lose to Neville. So I think they'll go with Neville. I generally get these things wrong. This is the match I'm really looking forward to. This is the match I really, really, really want to watch. John Cena versus Kevin Owens, the US title versus the NXT title. I don't think this one is for the United States Championship. I don't think it is. And if it were, I'd say John Cena for certain. John Cena, obviously, going to be John Cena if it's for the United States Championship. But I don't think it is. It doesn't change my mind. It doesn't change my mind. I still think it's going to be John Cena, but the fact that the United States Championship is not on the line means this match is actually more open. And it does mean that when Kevin Owens hits that pop-up powerbomb in the middle of the match, there will be a moment in my brain where I think, oh my God, is it actually going to happen before John Cena kicks out at 2? But at the same time, I really want Kevin Owens to win that so much. So I just don't see it happening. I really want him to win. It'd be like if AJ Styles debuted, went up against Seth Rollins. I would want AJ Styles to win that match so desperately. AJ Styles, by the way. AJ. birthday present from Marcus. That. But yes, I would love for AJ to win, but obviously I don't think he's going to beat Seth Rollins or Randy Orton. You know, it's a similar deal. I want Kevin Owens to win so much. That's one of the things that makes me think he won't. So John Cena on that one. Nikki Bella versus Paige versus Naomi. I see them giving this one to Naomi. Have I basically just agreed with... No, I haven't. I've disagreed with him on Dallas versus Neville. No, I do think this is going to be Naomi. They've got two sort of face divas there, Paige and Nikki. Nikki's held the title now since before WrestleMania. It's a good length for the title run. Bit too early to give Paige a third title. Naomi, I don't think it's ever been the Divas Championship. Good in-ring worker. Hate the current gimmick. Doesn't suit her at all, I don't think. And plus that fucking theme song's terrible. So... But I can see Naomi winning this one. I don't know. They need her title to change hands on this pay-per-view, I think. That's just the way I feel. They need a title to change hands. So I think they're going to go with Naomi. Because it makes more sense from a storyline standpoint. They can continue this storyline going forward if they want to. Paige wins it again. It's already a third in just over a year. It's just too many, I think, too soon. Paige is she's still only 22, I think it is. So she's got a long way to go yet. You know, they don't need to put titles on her all the time. I can see Tamina getting involved and screwing this whole thing over as well. But I think this one's going Naomi's way. Okay, so the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. I would like to see Dean Ambrose win this one. I really would, because I think Dean Ambrose has probably got the biggest potential to really make that show entertaining out of these two blokes. At the same time, I think they're going to go with Seth Rollins. It'll be some sort of screw job or something like that. Seth Rollins continues to hold on to it. I don't really know when they're going to take the title off Seth Rollins yet, but I assume it will happen sometime soon. But I think if I'm the WWE, I'm thinking I'm going to try and keep the title on Seth Rollins until Brock Lesnar comes back and has a feud with him. And then Seth Rollins beats Brock Lesnar in a one-on-one match, and then have him lose the title. Then the title means more. I think it'll be Seth Rollins, but I would love to see Dean Ambrose win it, just because I think Dean Ambrose is gold. Every time he's on television, he's practically gold. So I'd like to see that. And there we go. I think that's, and then it's the last match. Yeah. So yes. It's going to be the Intercontinental Championship. Now, take your bloody pick. Don't think Rusev is actually in the match anymore. Now I think about it, I might just look at a news story for this, see if they found the replacement for Rusev, because I know Rusev's actually injured. And I don't think he's going to be in the match. Backstage update on Rusev's status for Elimination Chamber. They got any changes then? Is this what it is? Yeah, because he suffered an injury on SmackDown. And he didn't work any of the live events, but then again, they're live events, so big deal if they pull him off. Oh, okay. So if he doesn't compete, they're expecting it to be Bray Wyatt. Okay. I just wanted to check on that. So anyway, provisional lineup, because they still haven't announced whether or not he'll be on the show, is Sheamus, Ryback, R-Truth, King, Bad News Barrett, Rusev, and Dolph Ziggler. they are the participants for this match provisionally. If Rusev doesn't compete, it'll be Bray Wyatt, assuming so they can continue the Ryback versus Wyatt feud. But anyway, at the moment, we're going to go with the assumption that Rusev is in the chamber. So, who's going to win out of that lot? It's a tough one. It's between Barrett, Ziggler, Ryback, and Sheamus. They're trying to push Ziggler forward, it seems, but I don't think so. Then you got King Barrett, Ryback, and Sheamus. They're trying to push King Barrett as the king. I can see him winning it. Ryback, I don't think so. I think they'll play on an injury, and I don't think Ryback will win it. So Sheamus versus Barrett. King Barrett's already king of the ring. Sheamus isn't anything yet, but he's been the Intercontinental Champion a lot before he. I'm going to go with Sheamus. I think, and I don't even think if Bray Wyatt's in the match instead of Rusev, it's going to change anything. That's what I think is going to happen. So yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. Also, some interesting news. So there you go. My predictions are just to run you down. My predictions, just so we know everything that's I've predicted. Prediction is New Day for the tag teams. Neville over Bo Dallas. John Cena defeats Kevin Owens. Naomi, Seth Rollins, and Sheamus. Although I just read some interesting news about Kevin Owens on this website. Then again, he never paid too much attention to what it says on these news sites, because they're never actually, well, they're not right all the time. But apparently, Kevin Owens has just signed a main roster deal with WWE, and apparently he's going to be. Apparently, he's been added to all Raw shows, and he's being added to the weekend house shows as well. But apparently, Kevin Owens is going to be appearing on all Raws for now, as well as NXT, because he's their NXT champion, which is very interesting. So, with that announcement read and said, I wouldn't be all that surprised to see Kevin Owens win that one now. That's it. My prediction still stands. I still think it'll be John Cena, but that actually throws that match into a bit more doubt. I wasn't that doubtful over it originally, but now I'm starting to think, actually, well, maybe it could be Kevin Owens. Don't think so, though. I still have my doubts on that one. So, yeah. That's my Elimination Chamber predictions, and that went on for quite some time. So let's move on. Because no comments yet, let's move swiftly on to gaming trends I want to see die. There might be a little bit of ranting about this. Ooh, there's an error. An error has occurred on the stream. That's intriguing. That's very intriguing. I wonder if I've got any issues with maybe the comment tracker's not working then. Ooh, sorry if I'm missing any comments, by the way, if they're coming up live. It sounds like there's a few issues going on, which I'll be on my control. That's a shame. That's a shame if the comment tracker's not working. I do apologize at this point in time. If things aren't working, I'm sorry. I really don't know how to make I don't know how to make Hangouts work. Anyway, gaming topics. Right, let's get stuck in. Probably going to be some ranting, probably going to be an angry tone to this. I'll try and keep it lighthearted. First one is pay to unlock content and items. Hate that. Hate it with a longing passion. Because do you know what they do, right? You see this in free-to-play games all the time. Free-to-play games are the most guilty of this thing, but I get it. You didn't have to buy the game, so what? You didn't have to pay. You didn't have to pay to buy the game, so almost fair play. They have to try and substitute their revenue streams somehow. But when it appears in AAA titles, and I wonder if I've got the disc for the case for this game to hand. I do. When it comes to AAA titles like, say, this, that one right there, not okay. No, most certainly not okay. Here's how Forza 5 has done its business. I like Forza, okay? I do. I like Forza. It's got a great car list, and I like the game. Big problem with it, is pay to unlock cars. You can... Now, there's one of two ways you can do this to buy cars in this game. You can either go through racing through the career, unlocking levels, winning races, winning credits that way, and then you get enough to buy the car you want. Or you can pay real world money for in-game tokens, and then you can buy the car with tokens instead. Which means you can basically have the Lotus F1 car from day one of your career. Great. It's fantastic. Lovely. However, there's one small fucking problem with that. Any sense of achievement, any motivation to play the game, gone. It's like, oh, my motivation is to win the is to unlock the F1 car. Oh, I can just buy it straight away. Bad. Why would I play the game? Why would I bother sitting there playing the game for hours on end if I can just buy the car immediately? Also, another problem is this game, you win virtually piss all for winning races, and there are very few bonuses either. You get 70,000 credits every time you go up a level. Fantastic, but the credit, the in-game money earning is slow. It's a hard grind to get anywhere with this game, anywhere fast it is. So it's all too tempting to just pay real money to buy the cars. And that's how they did it. They just made it so that it takes you so long to get the cars that you want, like you just buy it. And that's just completely pointless. This game just basically went stingy and forced you to buy it. That's after you paid full fucking price for the game, and then you're paying full price to buy the cars. Stop it. This is not free to play. This is a AAA title. Call of Duty's been doing this for a while now, actually. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Peacekeeper. Why? Stop that crap. That should just be a gun in the game, not something you have to buy with more real world money. I've paid for the game. Give me the game. I don't want to pay full whack and then receive part of the game. I want to receive, this is the case as well. This has got fucking shitloads of DLC, which will, by the way, if you buy all 60 DLC cars for this, it'll cost you more money than the actual game cost. The DLC amounts to more money than the game. Well, what the hell, man? It's like, seriously. I think they did unveil some free DLC packs for this, but this has become a world-class example of gaming companies just squeezing every last penny from gamers. And it's just not fair. It's like, why should you have to just sit there and do a million races because they've made the in-game credit, earning ability so stingy? You're going to be sitting there until Forza 6 comes out, and you probably still wouldn't have unlocked the F1 car. Oh yeah, well, here's your way around that. $5.99 of your real-world pounds, please, and then you can have the car that you're slaving 2 years of your life away for. Either way, it's lose-lose for the gamers. I mean, if you just completely object to any of this completely, then you lose again. It's just no matter what you do, you lose. You want to drive the F1 car. Of course you do. It's the fastest car in the game. Why wouldn't you want the F1 car? It's one of the unique selling points of the game. It's like the big bombshell. It was their big pipe bomb at the end of their trailer. Oh, look, F1 car, Le Mans. is the money shot of their trailer for the game, and they've basically made it unattainable. Thanks, Turn 10. Love you for just, you know, why don't you just have my wallet? You know, here's my bank card. Just take everything. It's annoying when the games companies do this. They're more doing it. I think it's quite prevalent in Destiny. I didn't buy Destiny. Didn't see the point in Destiny, but you know, it happens. I think, if I'm honest, League of Legends has got this correct. I'm hesitant to say correct because you can buy champions in the game with real-world money, but the actual in-game credit IP reward system isn't so stingy that you're never going to unlock the champions that you want just by playing the game. You can unlock all the champions in pretty good time just by playing the game. But if you want like the thing is, if they hadn't put that option in there at all, I'd say League of Legends is perfect for it. But that's a free-to-play game, so they include extra skins for your characters. If you want your character to feel more personalized to you, you can pay a bit of it real-world money and have like a custom skin for your character. And that's fine. I don't see a problem with that. I mean, if you're a person who wants... Like if Call of Duty did that for gun camouflages, let's just say all gun camos gone from Call of Duty, right? Let's just say that happened. Peacekeepers in the game, everything's there. But you get like 5 or 3 basic camouflages, like desert, woodland, urban, and obviously just bare metal. Let's just say that's how Call of Duty was, and instead of making you pay for the Peacekeeper, it makes you pay for special gold or platinum, diamond Peacekeeper or something. That would be fine because it doesn't hurt people who don't buy diamond weapons. If you don't want to pay to have diamonds on your weapons, cool. At least that way you're not basically losing out on a weapon of the game. That's how I see. I mean, if you want to sink that kind of money, but then again, Call of Duty still wouldn't be okay because it's still a AAA full whack pay for it title. Still, you can still pay £44 in Tesco's for Call of Duty. So either way, Call of Duty in particular, games like this, games full whack AAA titles should not be allowed to get away with this at all. Only free-to-play games, I say, can get away with that. And only if it does not affect those that don't want to buy it. If what these people are paying for gives them an in-game advantage over those that don't want to pay for it, not okay with that. That's not cool because we're not, believe it or not, I do not have the amazing moneyous frictutious tree in my garden. I do not have a tree out there growing money for me. I have to sink hours of my life to earn my money. It's not fair that just because I want to hold on to a bit of that for a month, that I can't have the full game experience. So stop that. Pay to unlock items where other people can and just dominate me because they've got a better item. It's not fair. Stop it. What else? Pre-order special content. I think I've talked about pre-ordering games before. Actually, one of the earlier episodes of this thing. Still hate this. Because if you, I know this game came with something like 18 or so pre-order cars. I think it was. There's a pre-order bonus pack, 5 cars. Good cars. I think the Veyron SS was included in that. Problem with that is, once again, if you don't pre-order the game, if you just wait for the game to come out, see a few reviews, and then decide, oh yeah, no, this does sound that sounds good. Good reviews, I'll have it. You can't have the full game. It's only pre-order. You've missed out on your pre-order content. That's it. It's gone. You've missed the opportunity. It's tough shit. You want the Veyron SS. You can't have it because you didn't pre-order the game. You just had to wait to see if the game was actually any good first, didn't you? Well, see, you screwed yourself out of content. So, but oh, by the way, you're still paying top whack for the game. Oh, of course you are. just because you haven't got the Veyron SS doesn't mean we're going to lower the price by 50p for you. No, me old fruit. You're still paying top whack for the game. You haven't got the whole game, but that's not the point here. You're still paying top price for part of the game, for 90% of the game, but you're still paying 100% of the price. Fucking stop that. It's not fair. It's just not fair. Sometimes I'm on the fence about a game, but it will have something really cool as a pre-order content bonus. I'm like, I don't want to miss that. But I don't know if the game's going to be good. I don't want to pay top whack for a game which isn't going to be any good. But I want that pre-order deal, and it's annoying as shit. And plus, here's the other problem, right? Here's a lot of the reason why I think a lot of games around these days seem to release with bad servers. EA, I'm looking at you. Release with massive glitches. Assassin's Creed Unity, I am looking at you. And sort of, there's all sorts of launch day problems now of games. Practically every AAA title that ever launches these days has 1,000,001 pre-order, has 1,000,001 day one bugs, day one crashes, day one complaints. Why? You want to know why? It's because everybody's pre-ordered the game. They've basically just gone, hey, we've got all that money, we can start working on our next game. And so the game's just launched with problems, and the gameplay isn't fleshed out. It's all skin deep, and it's all crap. The games are just not as good because the final stages of development that used to happen aren't happening because they've already got all our money. So it'd be like right now. For the last 2 months, Jurassic World has been in post-production, and anybody who's watched the trailers for that movie will see that they have upgraded the CGI in that movie over the last 2 months alone. So over the last 2 months, that movie has gone from good to stunning. Now, the same thing happens in games, and if you don't think it does, you're an idiot. Trust me, the same thing happens in games. Over these last 2 months, the last 2 months before it gets released are spent fine-tuning, honing, beefing up servers, doing this type of thing. But let's just say right now that we all paid our tickets to go and see Jurassic World 2 months ago. The last 2 months of development don't have to happen. They've already got the money. Why bother making the movie better? They've already paid to go and see it. Do you not see the flawed logic here? It's like buying a car that hasn't been released. It's like, oh, we haven't actually done the winter testing yet on this car to see if it works in winter. But everybody's bought the car anyway, so we might as well just release it now. Do you not see the flaw in that business plan? It's like paying for a load of bananas which haven't actually arrived at your local supermarket. They could be moldy for all you know. So how can games be allowed to get away with that? Basically, you pay all your money to the game company and then you find out if it's a piece of crap or not. It just wouldn't work in any other scenario, would it? It just wouldn't. Why should gaming companies be allowed to get away with that? As soon as they have your money, their incentive to make that game as good as it can be, gone. If you guys right now, let's say this podcast, let's say it was a pay-per-view, this podcast, right? If you guys all went and bought the pay-per-view like a month in advance, why would I bother putting effort into making the show good? It's like, I've already got your money. If that's what this show was all about, it is, and it's a bad example, but you know what I mean, right? My incentive, if my only incentive to do this podcast was money and it was pay-per-view, you've already bought the pay-per-view a month in advance, why would I spend like the next month going out of my way to make sure the pay-per-view is great, lining up guests, lining up this? I wouldn't go to the trouble. I've already got your money. I'll just sit here and talk for maybe 10, 20 minutes and then that'd be it. It's like there's nothing you can do because you already paid me. I don't understand why there hasn't been a petition about this from gamers, because it boggles my mind how gaming can continue to get away with doing that to us. It's just not fair. And there's more pre-order bonus content. I've talked about that and pay to unlock. Yeah, that's this one. Hard drive game install. So here's the deal, right? You've gone out, you've got your game, if you still buy it on a disc. That is, assuming you don't just buy it from like Steam store or online store. You've gone out, you've paid for your disc, you're home, you've got your brand new game, Forza 5. You can't wait to get started on the Xbox One and start experiencing the next gen of Forza gameplay. You're amped up. You've got your energy drinks. You're preparing to pull an all-nighter. Oh, wait a minute. It's got to install for 6 hours. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, sorry. You've got a 6-hour hard drive game install. Why? Why does that happen? I don't understand how this all of a sudden started happening. When I buy a game, I want to put the disc in and play it because I'm excited to play the game. Then I have to wait 3 hours. My excitement just dissipates. I'm just like, I start playing it and like, okay. Rather than being excited because I've just popped my game in, it's like, here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, wait, got to wait 4 hours. It doesn't have the same effect. I don't enjoy the starts of games like I used to because I'm just there and I'm like, yeah. It's just, I don't understand why that started happening. That never used to happen. I don't remember that. I mean, it has started happening on the PlayStation 3. But the thing with the last gen is the hard drive installs weren't that big. It wasn't something like 6 to 18 gigs at a time. I think it was this. I think this one had something like 60 gigs or something to install. It was so ridiculous. I was there. It was a whole day before I could play that. Forza 5, I had to wait a whole day after buying the game before I could actually play it because it was installing. I was just like, you fuck. I was like, I've got this day off, bought the game new so I can play it on my day off, and I can't play it. It frustrates me as hell to hell. When I buy a new game, I want to play the new game. I don't want to have to sit there for 4 hours and then just, oh wait, well no, I've got to go out now. Missed the opportunity. It's frustrating. It never used to happen. When you're back on the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, back as far as the Nintendo NES, you didn't have to install your games to your console. It was all there on your disc. I don't understand why the disc is all of a sudden inadequate. And if it is inadequate, update your technology so that I can play the game when I buy it, not after I've bought it. You know, I mean, I plus I just got a message on Facebook. Ooh, I want to read it. Ooh. Oh, yeah, I know about that. But you know what I mean, right? It's like, let's just say, let's use this podcast as an example again. So the podcast is supposed to start at 8. You guys are ready for the show to start at 8 o'clock. You're amped up. You're ready for Host Pro. Well, sorry, no, the show's been cancelled until 11 o'clock. There you go. You've got to wait another 3 hours now for your Host Pro. You're probably just going to give up on the show. Same problem here. I don't understand why you can't just have a game on the disc, you can pop the game in, start playing. Why does that have to die out? One more thing with gaming that sort of irritates me. Most new games now seem to try and cater themselves towards esport potential, because I think a lot of games these days have seen games like Call of Duty and League of Legends getting huge on the esports scene, particularly League of Legends. Actually, League of Legends in particular is like that. You know, League of Legends is the number one game on esports scenes, played by millions, with players worshipped and revered by millions because of their ability to click R at the right moment. I'm thinking of people like XPK, because they can place a wall and teleport to that wall at just the right moment to destroy the, you know. League of Legends is huge in the on the competitive gaming scene. So every new MOBA, like the most, I think it's, how do I word this? The most games that get released these days, the highest percentage of those games go to the MOBA genre, which is where League of Legends is, or the first-person shooter genre, where Call of Duty is. But you don't see anywhere near as many, say, puzzle games or RPG games. Well, you do see RPG games, they're like the third biggest, but you wouldn't see that many simulations compared to MOBAs over the course of a year. Why? Because every game company is basically just trying to make their game an EA Sport. That should stop, I think. I want to see a bigger cross-section of games. I want to see vast majorities of games coming out. Rather than people just trying to make games to try and capture the e-sport system. It's like I see it a lot. I think nearly every first-person shooter and every game that has an online mode these days just secretly wants to have its own tournament, real-life tournament based upon it. And I think as a result of that, a lot of these days, I tend to play single-player games that aren't as rewarding. They just don't feel the same. I don't feel the same immersion in single-player gameplay that I used to. And I think it's because so many game companies just place so much emphasis on multiplayer gameplay because they're trying to become esports, like League of Legends, like Call of Duty. They all want their own World Series. And it's just, you can't do that. It should just happen. That's the thing. League of Legends and Call of Duty, it just happened like that. And later on in this podcast, I am going to talk about a game which I think will deliver that immersive single-player experience that I am still looking for. And by the way, I am still looking for it. I have not given up on the idea of a single-player experience that's immersive. So, yeah. And I have just found out that my comment tracker is not working. That is frustrating. I've just seen a comment pop up saying Beliza, but it hasn't popped up in my comment tracker, but it's popped up in my Google Plus notifications. So I'm sorry, guys, the comment tracker isn't working, which is frustrating. It is a bit annoying when that happens because it looks like I'm ignoring my audience, even though I'm obviously not, or at least not intentionally. Anyway, I am, but it's not because I want to. I think all the... Let me take a look at the streams. What's actually... Oh, YouTube device support. That's the only... Oh, what? No wonder. Because it's not actually got the revenue. What? Just shucks. Right, because it's basically not got the sources. Gotta love how smart I am, right? Didn't even add the sources. Yeah, it's quality. Right, time to go into screen share mode. Because it's time to talk about a car. Screen share, please. There it is. We are talking about the Lamborghini Aventador SV, and I'm trying to think which is my favorite picture. I think it's probably that one. Or that one. Yeah. That shows more of the aggression off. So, here's the deal. In this, the Lamborghini Aventador SV, which I think looks stunning. It just looks like a race car that they put on the road. Or at least that's what I think. It looks a bit like a stealth bomber at the same time. For this car, they have got a 750 brake horsepower V12, which revs right the way up to 8,500 RPM, which is obscene. If this thing were to go past you at full res, your eardrums would bleed. That's how high-pitched it is and how high revving. You probably actually feel a shockwave of revs as it went by. Then, on top of this extra power, I mean, that's, I think, yeah, pretty sure that's a 50 brake horsepower increase over the standard Aventador. So that's not an insurmountable amount of power. But they've also made it 50 kilograms lighter. So 50 brake horsepower more, probably similar amount of more torque, and 50 kilograms less weight to lug around. Actual acceleration speeds, sorry, I couldn't find any in the report that I was reading. Or in the, here's the picture from the actual Geneva show where they unveiled it. I'm afraid I couldn't find that, but what I did find is it has reworked suspension with new magneto-rheological active dampers fitted to it, which obviously made their big debut on the 599 Ferrari that would be. And everybody ranted and raved about how effective the system was, and so every other car company in the world has to have them. And yes, so they found their way to the Lamborghini Aventador SV. It also has stop messaging on Facebook. I can hear the beeps. Oh, right, where was I? I'm creating time paradoxes. I can see I'm creating time paradoxes, and I just realized I just shared the whole Facebook thing with you. Never mind. Yeah, so Marcus actually isn't in bed by the looks of it. Oh, that's a shame. Never mind. He didn't. I don't know if he really wanted to do the show tonight. Anyway, doesn't matter. He has specially made Pirelli tires, which were designed for it. Which I think the Aston Martin DBS had specially made Pirelli P0s. The Aventador SV has the same thing, specially made tires which are stupidly sticky. And if all of this is sounding a bit incomprehensible, it's like 700, but what does that really mean? What does all this, what does 50 brake horsepower and 750 brake horsepower and Pirelli tires, what does this actually mean? What it means is you can go around the Nordschleife in under 7 minutes, which is insanely fast for a road car, which is still a road car. That is improbably fucking quick. It's a really, really, really fast time. It's not that far off of the utterly mental Pagani Zonda R that recently came out. So yeah, that thing is an utter animal of a car. It's time to exit screen share. There we go. We're back. I think you got a glimpse of a picture of Paige as well, which I'm sure made you very happy. So now, time to do some Would You Rathers. Unfortunately, the Would You Rather Reddit was pretty slow today, but I took two. Only one of them is even remotely difficult at all. Even then, it's pretty easy. So let's do the first one, which is the actual... Let's do the easy one first. Would you rather take the first bite of a pizza or the last bite of a pizza for the rest of your life? And that's ridiculously easy, okay? It's pretty obvious, right? You want to take the first bite. You want to take that bite when the pizza is at its freshest. If you're taking the last bite, it's a stale cold pizza by that point. Admittedly, you don't have to look at somebody else eating that last bit of pizza with envious eyes. But if you have the choice of the first or the last bite, you always want the first. You want that pizza at its freshest and most tasty. That's the whole point of a pizza, right? So yeah, easy one. Second, would you rather fuck an anthill or write a New York Times bestseller about fucking an anthill, even though you haven't actually done it yourself? And again, it's not that difficult, is it really? Would you rather have sex with an anthill and get your cock bitten by ants, or would you rather just write a New York Times bestseller about it? Well, for a starter, if I write the book, I haven't had my cock bitten to hell by ants. And on the second time, I've got a New York Times bestseller, so I'm probably famous, and I'm probably raking in the money, and I'm driving around in a Ferrari for writing a book about something I didn't have to experience. So for me, it's pretty easy. You just write New York Times. Of course, everybody thinks you've fucked an anthill, but at the same time, who cares? I didn't actually fuck an anthill, so I don't care. Which brings me to my last topic. Sadly, the comments aren't showing in my comment tracker. Partially my bad. Partially, I think Google Plus malfunctioned a tiny bit there. But Kingdom Hearts 3. I haven't even seen all that much about this game. First one of the day, always hits the spot. But admittedly, I haven't even heard that much about this game, which annoys me because I should have heard something about this game because I am a massive Kingdom Hearts fan. Since the PS2 days, since before the PlayStation 3 even came out, I've loved this game. I haven't played, I want to make this clear, I haven't played the portable games. I haven't played the sort of the spin-off. I haven't played the prequel, Birth by Sleep, or X, or Keyblade, whichever you want to call it. It's actually called Kingdom Hearts Keyblade because when you have the subtitles on and they ever mention the Keyblade, in the subtitles it comes up with that symbol. But the game with something, but it looks like an X. So some people call it X, some people call it Keyblade, but I think it's called Keyblade. So I haven't played the prequels. I haven't played the spin-off about Roxas, which was 358 over 2 days. And I haven't played Coded or 3D Dream Drop Distance. However, here's the deal. I'm watching all of like the internet cutscenes to find out about the storyline, since that's what I really care about. I mean, I'm not all that bothered about playing games on a mobile device. Just not. Sorry. But so I'm finding out about the storyline so I can be more clued up for when Kingdom Hearts 3 finally does come out, because I have a feeling Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to actually offer us some proper solutions to all the storyline issues. And plus, I think that I think the storyline is going to be quite heavily based around what happens in the prequels, and it's going to have something to do with Roxas, and it's going to have something to do with, I think, Dream Drop Distance as well. And obviously, it's going to have to continue on with what happened in Kingdom Hearts 2 and 1, which, admittedly, I never played Kingdom Hearts 1. That one sailed under my radar, but I did play Kingdom Hearts 2, and it's unbelievable. It's really, really, really good. It's just huge as well, actually. I mean, even the movie, the cutscene movie, which didn't have, I don't think it even had all of the cutscenes in it. But my God, even this small cutscene movie, it went on for 3 videos. I'm trying to do the maths. It was a 10 hours worth of cutscenes. It's a huge game, and plus you have something like 15 Disney worlds, constant going back to Hollow Bastion. It's just immense storyline immersion, pretty decent voice acting, not that great voice acting. It's not the best, but it's good enough. And not so much the first time you play through the worlds, but definitely the second time you go through the worlds. Great integration of the bigger issues of the game into what's going on in that world, so you can defeat the Heartless on the different battlegrounds, which are these other Disney worlds. And plus, just the fight system was fantastic. I thought the fight system was fantastic. I've heard a couple of people go, it's really slow. But I mean, for the time, PS2, it was a really good fight system with good powers, good abilities, the Keyblade, and all the powers you can get. Being able to fight alongside characters like the Beast and Tron and Simba. It's just, there's so much going on in that game, and plus it was quite a very good-looking game. I mean, you're talking about PS2, so luckily for the game, it exists in a bit of a cartoon universe. Most of the Disneylands, it's like Little Mermaid. You're talking about like Little Mermaid. You're talking about Aladdin. You're talking Lion King. The only sort of like real world in it is basically Pirates of the Caribbean. And so the PlayStation 2's like rather limited graphical abilities weren't too much of an issue, basically because it didn't matter. It's a cartoon universe, so it didn't have to render real life like graphics. And so for that reason, Kingdom Hearts 2 looked pretty big, and it looked pretty good for me, and I really did like this game. So Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out. And I'm thinking this game is going to be a really good single-player campaign game. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I hope they don't go too far down the road. Obviously, it's going to have to be some sort of online integration. Sorry. There's going to have to be some sort of online integration, because it would be a sin not to. But I hope it doesn't get too hung up on what you can do online, because that would just detract from what Kingdom Hearts is all about, which is an immense character storyline and all of that type of thing. And I'm really looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 3. It's on PlayStation 3, and I've seen some of the graphics already. And it's going to be awesome. The graphics on it are looking fantastic. They haven't actually shown off any gameplay yet, which is a bit of a worry, but I think they're planning to unveil that in November. So the crux of my Kingdom Hearts 3, what do I think about it, will be in November, which is when they plan to actually talk about it. You might even strike lucky and get something at this year's E3, which, now I think about it, when is that? Might be worth actually finding out. E3 2015, when is it? So I've already missed it. No, it's June. Okay, so you might well see something at in June about it. In fact, I wouldn't be all that surprised if you did. Oh, plus there's potential stuff about Fallout 4. Wow, all sorts of stuff. But I'm going to say like the crux of what it's looking like until I hear some more about the game. I've only seen a few trailers, nothing all that detailed. However, I did see a trailer where they're fighting a monster on the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. That's awesome. I want to fight Heartless on Big Thunder Mountain. That would be cool. That would be like a really cool like little addition, which they have never done before, which is just the theme parks and theme park mythology. So yeah, definitely worth doing that if they do. What else have we got going on? Not a whole lot else. It looks like they're still going to have free flow movement. So sure, that'd be cool, I guess, to have free flow movement in the game. What they're going to have to try and do, though, is integrate some new franchises in there. I think Frozen would probably be a pretty good shout, because I don't think Frozen's Pixar, is it? No, it's not. It's definitely Disney. So yeah, you could do Frozen, and bring in some new worlds, bring in some new franchises, because the thing is, when you watch the cutscene movies, it's the same worlds over and over and over again. Like Traverse Town, the only time Traverse Town doesn't appear, I think, is literally in Kingdom Hearts 2, which is weird. But Hollow Bastion's like there all the time. It's like they go to Agrabah in pretty much every game. So it'd be quite nice to see some of these newer worlds going out, but obviously keep the classics there, because it would be Kingdom Hearts without the classics. So yeah, definitely worth keeping those worlds around, and yeah, it's gonna be. I think it'll be a very good game. The one thing I really hope they don't do, though, is do what they did to Sora in Dream Drop Distance, because he's like a total idiot in Dream Drop Distance. It's like pretty obvious stuff going on, and he's just like, he just gets betrayed. That's okay, I trust you. What, you still trust me? I just tried to trap you. Yeah, sure, why not? No biggie. And it's like in Kingdom Hearts 2, he wasn't a total moron. He was an optimist. He wasn't a moron. And in Dream Drop Distance, he just seems a bit thick, really. Just a complete, just really stupid. It's just like, Sora, what the hell happened to you? You're supposed to be older now than ever before, and you're acting more like an idiot than ever before. So I hope they don't continue down the dumbing down of Sora route. That would annoy me. But I'm holding out a lot of hopes for this game. I don't have any reason to think it's going to be a bad game. So until we hear some more details and see some actual gameplay, I'm going to hold out my judgment on that. game. So for now, that's all I have for you on tonight's podcast. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Haven't had any comments through, which is a bit of a shame, but yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching, and thank you to all my new subscribers. Please remember to hit like and subscribe, because that always helps. Always helps the channel grow, and helps make the shows just a little bit better, I think. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you liked it, and I am the Chun. You aren't.